Andrew Holness, right? Tavares, Finson, right? And all of those persons who defending Andrew Holness, right? Now they agree. They are fighting to keep Paula Llewellyn in the space. And at the same time, fighting hard in order to not to reinstate the Integrity Commission investigators, including Mr. Panther. So isn't that we see a hypocrisy there, a plain hypocrisy? Now, people, watch this. Let us move. Let us find this clip. Petits. Let us go to that clip. Right? We want to show the people, what is going on. We want to show the people what is going on. The clear hypocrisy of the Jamaica Labour Party administration, right? And let me call them the kleptocratic society, the kleptocratic clique who want to defend Andrew Holness. Let us play the clip.
Then Tom Tavares Finson has raised eyebrows with his comments about yesterday's editorial in the Gleaner, which called for the retention of the chairman of the Integrity Commission, retired Justice Seymour Panton. The editorial urged the governor, Sir Patrick Allen, to ask Justice Panton and Commissioner Eric Crawford to remain beyond next year. I think their term comes up, or I don't know if their term comes up, or I think it's the end of their term next year, for both Crawford and Panton, and I believe Christie. So, but Mr. Tavares Finson gave this comment to our colleagues at Nationwide News Network. Have a listen.
So there are a significant number of cameras are down. And
the mere fact that the Gleaner has endorsed the reappointment of Mr. Panton and Mr. Crawford to the Integrity Commission, the fact that the Gleaner has done so tells you everything that you need to know.
So Tom Tavares Finson, President of the Senate, seems to be calling out or certainly ascribing a motive to the Gleaner for other than wanting to see maybe continuity in the thing. I've asked him about exactly what that meant, and he suggested I figure it out. And we tried to get an insert from him, but none was forthcoming.
So what he wanted to figure out?
As to what the Gleaner's motives may be, or why he's suggesting that.
So what is in his opinion is the Gleaner's motive?
Well, he's suggesting that the fact that the Gleaner is calling for the retention tells you everything you need to know about the Gleaner. The suggestion being that the Gleaner is biased, I suspect.
Yeah.
Now,
but who appointed those people?
Stop that. This is the heights of corruption, people. This is what now we confirm as a kleptocratic clique. Yes, a kleptocratic clique within the Jamaica Labour Party administration. So then let me ask, to the fact that, right, persons, right, communicated that, okay, Mr. Panton, Greg Christie, and others are doing an excellent job and wish for them to be reinstated. Tavares is saying something wrong with that. Something wrong with that. So Tavares want to imply that also the Gleaner is political, and the Gleaner, you understand, is defending the People's National Party. Now, I am telling you where Tom Tavares is going in. Now, so let me ask Tom Tavares. So now, Tom Tavares, let me spring the kind on you. To the fact that Andrew Holness is fighting tooth and nail to give the DPP an extension, don't it should tell you something? Eh? Talk to me now, Tom Tavares. Because you think that you alone gifted with brain. Eh? You think that you alone gifted with brain and other people gifted with peanuts. So let me ask you a question, Tom Tavares. You said to the fact that the Gleaner, person who communicated an interest to see the reinstatement of Mr. Panton and Greg Christie because they are doing an excellent job. You are saying that. You understand the Gleaner is political because that is what you are saying. And the Gleaner, the persons who are saying it, are defending the PNP. Now, let me ask you a question now, Tom Tavares. Now, to the fact that you, and along with Andrew Holness and the clique, wanting to see this DPP, right, get extension beyond extension, right? The people should, well, the Jamaican people are not to look at it as nothing. How the Jamaican people need to look at it, Mr. Tom Tavares, based on what you said as it relates to the Gleaner. How the Jamaican people need to look at that. Because guess what? The DPP reached its time based on the Constitution, you know. Based on the Constitution. And you don't see anything wrong where your leader and all of you, right, the 49 members, seem to overturn that Constitution using your 2/3 majority. You don't see anything wrong with that. You don't see anything wrong with that. But people now within the Gleaner is seeking, right, to say, okay, we need the reinstatement of these men because they are doing a solid work. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something in the Tom Tavares. It is not only, you understand, persons in the Gleaner. We have St. Lucia prosecution team applauded the Integrity Commission. If you never know that. You have people outside of Jamaica, other countries outside of Jamaica, applauding the Integrity Commission. So you and your evil deeds and your corrupted deeds, and you want to double down in your corruption to protect Andrew Holness. So let me ask a question. Let me ask a question, Tom Tavares. You have not seen that Andrew Holness during COVID, during the COVID time, right, 2020, 2021, moving around $470 million through various accounts. You didn't see that? Tom Tavares, where are your eyes? Your eyes don't open. You're blind. You didn't see that. You didn't see that the $470 million where Andrew Holness statutory declaration for 2020 only show that income, assets, and liability is only $170 million for his 2020 statutory declaration, while the very same 2020, $470 million moving around three of his institutions, Imperium, Positive Media, right, and Estate Bridge. You never see that. Where are your eyes? Where are your honesty? Where is your integrity? Where is integrity there? You don't see that. Eh? You don't see where Estate Bridge. Let me show you. Let me ask you another question. You don't see that in 2020 that ADMAT liquidated into Imperium. You didn't see that. And you didn't see that Imperium have 4,001 shares in Estate Bridge. You don't see that. You don't see that. That's how corrupted you people are. That is how corrupted you people are. I could talk more things in, but sure I don't believe business in a family thing. We just leave that alone. But I could speak more things. So let me just deal with you, you understand, based on the politics. But I am saying that you came out, right, accusing the Gleaner to be politically biased. That is what you are saying, you know, that is what you are doing, you know. accusing the Gleaner to be political bias because persons are defending integrity. So then, what you plan to do now? Burn down the entire Integrity Commission, that they are evil, they are out to get Andrew Holness, because that is what you and your cliques are saying, you know, that the Integrity Commission, just imagine, 2 years consecutively, that Andrew Holness applauded the Integrity Commission investigators 2 years consecutively, that they are doing an excellent job. But all of a sudden, that the Integrity Commission investigators now have Andrew Holness under the microscope and said, no, man, the statutory declaration that you submitted, right, you need to justify how you come by your wealth, and you can't do that. He lied to the statutory, the Integrity Commission, because what he filed in 2020, we are going to ask him as it relates to the 2020 statutory declaration showing Andrew Holness total assets, income, and liability at $174 million. So then tell me now, in 2020, between 2020 and 2023, when you have $470 million running all over the place, how that is not reflecting on the 2020 statutory declaration? Because you think that we have peanut brain and only you have brain. You think we have peanut for brains and only you have brain. You are a set of corrupted people. Corrupted to the core. Now, let me show you what you want to do. Right? You want to burn down the Integrity Commission. But before I go there, Pastor Ricky, jump in and say something.
Yeah. Dog power father-in-law, I sold him soul to the devil.
Talk about it, but go on.
As an officer of the court who's supposed to uphold the Constitution and the rule of law, he has aligned himself with a criminal enterprise or organization in the Jamaica Labour Party. And to say that the Gleaner is politically aligned when he's politically aligned because he's part of the party, it's a disgrace. He's one of the cover-up specialists in that party that cover up corruption and criminality. And you perfectly reveal what is statutory declarations from 2020 reveal versus what the 470 million plus pass into is companies. So when you hear them defend every time they open their mouth and speak, out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh, it reveals that these people are corrupt. And so, you know, the DPP said today she has unfinished work to do, and that's why she's coming back. She said it in an interview on the Jamaica Labour Party FM. And so you wonder what unfinished work she has to do, because she failed at the Privy Council in February, and that would have been a big highlight for her. And she has no credibility as it relates to being honest. She verbally admit publicly on the Jamaica Labour Party FM that she pushed through cases that had tainted jury. And so the level of corruption is so high in the Jamaica Labour Party that he's supposed to be a lawyer in the court, an officer of the court, should have known better. There's some things you should just leave alone and let somebody else say it, and you don't speak out of your mouth those kind of things, because it reflects bad on you that you're part of the culture of corruption that we're witnessing in Jamaica. So he should be ashamed of himself. And I think he should retract that statement that rush out on TVJ, because TVJ reported what the IC report says, and TVJ had to apologize. He should now apologize to the Gleaner Company for what he said, because the Gleaner Company's been around for so long, from your little youth and longer before I was born, and they have always been neutral. But they don't like when the truth come out. They want to shield and protect the truth so the truth doesn't manifest, so people can be aware to make informed decisions. So it's just show the level of corruption in all of them, all 49 of them corrupt body.
Yes, agree with that, Pastor Ricky. But let us show them, right, as it relates to the clique, what the clique is saying against the Integrity Commission. Unbelievable, you can't believe it, right? That you have persons, right, who would be double down in the corruption, right, to burn down the Integrity Commission. For what? What is it the Integrity Commission is doing so wrong, more than doing their responsibility and highlighting the truth? But we know the Bible says the truth is an offense, right? Because those who are in the wrong and those who are in the dark and those who are evil, right, they don't like the truth. So then the truth now becomes an offense to them, right? So now let us pray to see, as it relates to the organization of the clique, what they are saying.
Are they out to get wholeness? Are they out to get wholeness? Those two incidents in particular have fueled the perception that it is out to get Andrew Holness. Whether fairly or not, that is the perception, that they're out to get him. It's a no integrity commission. It's a no integrity commission, as one man said to me yesterday. It's no longer the IC. It's the NIC, the No Integrity Commission. And I don't know how we're going to fix it. The Integrity Commission, as of this moment, has effectively provoked polarizing views and attitudes in the country. Half of the population convinced that it has become biased and political in its work, that it is no longer an impartial body that enjoys the trust and confidence of the people of Jamaica. And they were able to complete the investigation in 5 months. Why? In an organization where, by their own admission, they have not been able to do half of the work they're supposed to be doing. And I say that because when you occupy such positions like the Integrity Commission, it is important that you conduct yourself in a way that is seen to be fair and judicious. It can't be seen that you are out to get whoever it is, whether he's a prime. It's more important and of more moment because he's a prime minister. That's where the commission finds itself this morning. And I've had reason to say it in February 2023 with how they handled that report. Subsequently, and now it is a pattern. Are they out to get wholeness? Are they? Are they out to get wholeness? Are they out to get wholeness?
Take it away.
Nothing gonna hear!
Take this away. No, my Jamaican people. No, this is serious. This is no laughing matter. No laughing matter. And as Bolivianar said, look who is talking about bias and political. No, Bolo, I want to ask him something. I'm going to ask him something right now. This piece of you know, I want to maintain my sanity tonight. But this piece of Polarized, according to what Wayne Lonesome is showing, Polarized. When I see him on the pole, Richard, when I put ice up, right? I'm going to have to ask Wayne Lonesome to show the pole. This piece of Polarized. Now, let me ask Cliff Hughes something. Cliff Hughes, you said, you asked a question, are they out to get Holness? Now, this is what you call the political red meeting. Political red meat showing to the base. Now, hold on. You remember when Cliff Hughes accused Dayton Campbell of certain remarks that Dayton Campbell made to say that Damian Campbell, right, is exposing him, right, for attack. Now, here is this man shaping it up, putting the IC Commission investigators' lives at risk for political fanatics. If you don't say that, you are shaping a narrative for political fanatics in the Jamaica Labour Party to view the IC as such enemy that they're out to get the Prime Minister. So Cliff Hughes, what you are doing is careless. It's really dangerous. Now let me answer a question now, Cliff Hughes. You said half of the population convinced that the IC is biased and political. Cliff Hughes, let me ask you a question. Have you done a poll? Where is the statistics? Let me ask you a question, Cliff Hughes. I am going to show people as it relates to what you are doing. What you are doing is extremely dangerous. And you need to apologize to the Integrity Commission officers because you are setting up their lives. You want them to be attacked. You want for political fanatics to attack them. That is what you are doing, Cliff Hughes. So if you don't know, that is what you're doing. Let me seek sensation telling you based on the narrative that you are shaping here tonight. You want the political fanatics to see the IC as a threat, that they are out to get Andrew Holness. Cliff Hughes, what you are doing is dangerous. And I'm calling upon PSLJ to talk to Cliff Hughes. I am calling upon the umbrella group of churches to talk to Cliff Hughes. Cliff Hughes is beating a trumpet of violence against the Integrity Commission. Jamaicans, you see. So I am asking Cliff Hughes, where is your statistics? Where is the polling that you have done that said, okay, yes, half of the population, what you have said in the Cliff Hughes, the population of Jamaica is roughly about 3 million people, you know. And you are saying 1.5 million people is saying that the IC is politically biased and the IC is out to get Andrew Holness. So where is your burden of proof, Cliff Hughes? Let me ask you tonight. I want to find out if there's, you don't have anyone responsible anymore in the media, in mainstream media, to say, Cliff Hughes, you are wrong. You are setting up the IC investigators because you want the political fanatics to attack them. Right? That is what you are doing, Cliff Hughes. Your statement is careless. Your statement is reckless. And you need to apologize. You need to take back that, Cliff Hughes. All of social media need to galvanize around this Cliff Hughes, you need to apologize to the Integrity Commission and you need to take back that. You cannot be setting up people's lives. Right? What are you saying? Half of the population convinced that the IC is biased and political. Where did you get that data? How did you come by that data? Eh? I want for you to run out tomorrow morning and show us that data. Where did you get that data? I can tell you, right? Based on people commentary around social media, most of us are agreeing that the Integrity Commission is doing a great job. Even Andrew Holness, 2 years consecutively, admitted that the Integrity Commission investigators are doing a good job until they have him under the microscope. I mean, when the Contractor General, right, pursue Azam, isn't that Andrew Holness found that the Contractor General was right in pursuing Azam? Isn't that when the Contractor General pursue Azam because of breaches? Isn't that Andrew Holness, along with his minions, agreed that the Contractor General was right? And where you claim that you're not going to be sitting in the parliament with someone who admitted, right, of breaches. Isn't that what you said, Andrew Holness? Is to show you how hypocritical and dangerous you are. Nothing what comes out of your mouth, Jamaican people believe. Majority of Jamaican people, right, based on what we are getting here on social media and talking to people, right, they know that most of what you speak about, right, are lies and deception from out of your mouth. And here you are, you have Cliff Hughes, right, who's supposed to be responsible, who knows very well, right, that the words that he had spoken out of his mouth, right, is really very serious in terms of how you have political fanatics. You understand? Will cement that view and see the Integrity Commission investigator as an enemy. But Cliff Hughes want them to be attacked. It is fundamentally wrong what you have done, Cliff Hughes. Right? And you need to apologize, right, to the Integrity Commission. It's very serious in terms of what you are saying. You are saying that half of the population convinced that the IC, right, is biased and political. Where did you get that? Where did you get that from? Have you done a poll? Where did you get that from? But these are the venomous lies that you speak. Now, let us move on in the program. Right, you have anything to add on that, Ricky?
Yeah, thank you. So the IC released a press release earlier this week that says that they've been getting a lot of death threats. And this is clearly evidence that he is sponsoring threats and anger, as you well stated, to perpetrate that the IC is the enemy, when the IC is constitutionally, dually doing their job that they were appointed to do. In 2019, we have the video of the Prime Minister saying that leave the IC alone. Them knew, because this was a year after they went into commission, and even the opposition must leave them alone. It's the evidence is clear that he supports the IC. Last week, Monday, December the 9th, was the Anti-Corruption Day, International Anti-Corruption Day around the world.
Yeah. Pastor Ricky, what up there? What up the Pastor Ricky? Let my wife support me with the clip. Play the clip. Okay. They like to support what you're saying, Pastor.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs.
Now, Pastor Ricky.
Yes, sir. So how can
Go ahead.
so how can the IC is targeting someone who supports the IC? How come the IC is out to get someone who brags about the work the IC is doing from 2019 all the way up until now? The fact of the matter is that he did a lot of financial irregularities that the IC exposed in their report. And so now it's like a youth with the crime in the streets, and the police grab him start blame the police, them say them not like him and them are target him. But if you weren't doing wrong, there would be no reason. He's not the only one that the IC investigates. Comrade Leader Mark Golden, statutory of declaration has been approved every year, including this last year, 2023. So he's the one that falls short, or is weighed in the balance and found wanted, as we normally said. So what Cliff Hughes is saying is Exhibit A in a criminal court proceeding against, if anything should happen to the IC commissioners. He already implicated himself trying to protect the prime minister by appealing to their deplorable base, appealing to their demoralized base. Remember the prime minister saying, people with education are call him, I ask him if the things what them are hear is true. And him I wonder why people would have believed what them are hear. Deceiving his own base, his own supporters. So everybody's talking about what the prime minister did wrong. Nobody's talking about what the Integrity Commission is doing. They're doing their job. They were appointed by Parliament through legislation, the act that was passed in 2017. So all of them are cover-up specialists for the prime minister and the things that he's doing wrong. And they're implicating themselves directly and indirectly and don't even realize it, that if anything should happen to any one of these commissioners, he might have got answer to the court just as well.
For the input. Now, we are going to go into the further corruption tonight, right? And I am going to point out certain breaches, right, as it relates to KSAMC and NEPA, right? Now, where we are going, right, if the KSAMC, particularly Andrew Swaby, the mayor, has no awareness of the case that I am going to present tonight. We want the mayor to look in this particular case that I'm going to talk about tonight. Because we know that as it relates to estate bridge breaches, the case that I'm going to present tonight have more egregious breaches than estate bridge. And so then from the IC can look into estate bridge, then the Integrity Commission ought to also look into this case that I'm going to present tonight. But before I do that, I am going to read, right, the KSAMC report that confirm building breaches, and then I present the case that I want Swaby, right, and I want the Integrity Commission investigators, right, to look into this case that I'm going to present to them. People, I am not joking around here. You understand? We are talking about holding the government accountable, checks and balance, right? Honesty and integrity, good governance we are maintaining, you understand, around here. Now, so let us get into that. KSAMC report confirms building breaches. Let us get into that. All right, let us share that document and get into that, my people. Right, because you know how we work around here. We work with evidence, right? Now, full text internal KSAMC report confirms building breaches by Estate Bridge amid IC report. Wednesday, December 18, 2024. Mayor of Kingston, Andrew Swaby, says a report from the Chief Engineering Officer at the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation has confirmed that permit breaches were made by Estate Bridge Holdings Limited in the construction of an apartment complex in Beverly Hills, St. Andrew. Swaby noted that the Estate Bridge applied to the KSAMC seeking to regularize the changes. On the same day, the Integrity Commission tabled its report and an investigation into breaches by the company in Parliament. So if you have no breaches, why not run for the correct? Yeah. Now, additionally, the KSAMC internal assessment revealed that the building permit issued to the developer expired on July 6, 2023. In the report, the commission said the company built more rooms than permitted. Right, and that is evidence because photographs of the breaches were shown by the Integrity Commission investigators. They all seen it and see that they were licking down the building, licking down the sidings. The Commissioner's Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, said the municipal corporation failed to ensure compliance with the terms and conditions of the building permit issued to Estate Bridge. Take that away, honey. Take that away. Now, before I get into what I'm going to show here, right, let me speak to my Jamaican people. What we look at with this administration is a pattern of behavior, the modus operandi of the Jamaica Labour Party administration. Let us get into the modus operandi of the Jamaica Labour Party. Number one, the first case to bear in front of us all, as it relates to the similarities that we found in that case, that runs through the entire administration of the Jamaica Labour Party. Now, number one, let us go back, draw back the curtain, as it relates to NWC President, National Water Commission President, what he had done with that, as it relates to the breaches, where the KSAMC approved a particular blueprint, but yet he operated on another blueprint, giving other instruction, and hence breach the original KSAMC agreement according to that blueprint. Now, what we have seen, when we think that we have a DPP who would have fight, you know, tooth and nails for us, defending the rights of the people, defending justice. The DPP sat and wait until time lapse. That the DPP in a seminar, which we all knew, we all heard, we played it here and heard the DPP that it's only an astute prosecutor, a prosecutor who is wise, who is prudent, would have worked in tandem with the investigator, worked hip to hip with the investigator, to carefully dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and bring a case forward to prosecute that case. We heard that from the DPP. But yet, the DPP, as it relates to the NWC president, did not do that. None of the prosecutors in the DPP office seek to understand that the time is essence and the time is important to ensure that the work being carried out, anticipating the time, but they all sit in limbo and waiting until what? Time lapse. And then the DPP came out to say, oh, you know, The charges brought forward by the investigators are legitimate. The investigators have done a fine job. However, we are not going to proceed because time lapse. Hence, the case is statute bar. That cannot be justice for the people. Justice delayed is justice denied. The DPP did not, or prosecutors within the DPP's office chose not to work in tandem with the investigators to ensure that statute of limitation will not execute. But they all sat there and wait until statute of limitation applied. Now, the DPP, to show even at the last interest, should have said, okay, let us put this case into the judiciary and allow the judiciary to make its determination. But what the DPP had done, the DPP had inserted herself and prevent the case from going into the judiciary. Now you tell me, people, that the DPP would have known about the statute of limitation, did not advise, neither the DPP or prosecutors in the DPP office did not advise that, look, we have a statute of limitation time to observe and we want to prosecute on the people's behalf. Let us work together to ensure that the statute of limitation don't execute. And we put the case into the court. So, Father Llewellyn, you need to come out and explain that to people. Are you, Father Llewellyn? Let me ask you a question now, Father Llewellyn. Are you decided that you are going to sit and you are going to wait? Now, we the Jamaican people know now that you are fully aware of the statute of limitation, which is the time is 12 months. So let me ask you now, Father Llewellyn, are you not going to advise your prosecutor? Are you not going to have a meeting with your prosecutors in your office and say, going forward, let me put this into your lap now, DPP. Going forward, we need to observe the statute of limitation and we need to work in a timely manner because justice delayed is justice denied. Are you not going to be on that part? Are you not going to be on that pathway? Be the prosecutor for Jamaica and not be Andrew Holness prosecutor. You are Andrew Holness protector. You are protecting Andrew Holness. So let me ask you this question. Are you not going to observe that statute of limitation is important? You understand? Are you not going to work with the investigators or encourage your prosecutors to work with the investigators to anticipate that statute of limitation not being utilized so that you can put the case into the judiciary? Are you not going to do that going forward? Let me ask you a question. Because that is one of the reasons why we are going to seek the Privy Council, you understand, for an appeal. These are situations that need to be reported on. Right? No one, we are no fools around here. We the people demand justice. We are no fools. No. So then Father Llewellyn, having Mystic Sensation said that, I don't want you to exercise statute of limitation on this case that I'm going to present to you. Because this time, my Jamaican people locally and in the diaspora, I am going to present a case tonight, right, to Jamaican people. And I'm going to ask Mayor Swaby, right, to make sure that this case, right, put into work on and put into the judiciary if it needs to go into the judiciary. So we are going to present this case tonight, right? And we are going to watch, right? And we are going to see if the prosecutor don't see this case. And let me advise that also I want the Integrity Commission investigators to look into this case that I'm going to present tonight. And I'm asking the investigator if they are oblivious of this case. Mystic Sensation is going to make them cognizant of this case tonight. Let us get into that. So let us, here we have seen the units that Jeannette Holness is building, at least right here. Overview of the development property, right? Overview of the development property site plan and actual development. We want to get into some of the breaches, overview of development property, aerial view of development. Here it is, but we are going to break them down, right? Now, this is a private property here. And based on the first diagram, you see where they want to put the road as it relates to the red marking. Can you imagine? Don't have no respect for the people's property. But let us move on. Now, matters of concern, right? Let us look on this. Matters of concern, land use and infrastructures. Matters of concern, habitable rooms per acre, total acreage 2.6. Applicable regulation, 30 habitable rooms. Now, look at these people. Expected for regulatory compliance. They are showing it to the people. Expected for regulatory compliance according to the blueprint. 78 habitable rooms, right, at 2.6 acres. 69 habitable rooms at 2.3 acres. 95 habitable rooms at 3.616 acres. And 120 habitable rooms at 4 acres. Now, remember what we are dealing with, you know, right? We are dealing with 2.6 acres. People, I am showing you, right, the habitable space as per acres. No one to understand the drawing, so you know. So the question, the acreage that involved here on the mouse, 2.6 acreage. That involved 30 habitable rooms per acre. Expected for regulatory compliance, which is 28 habitable rooms, right? Agency approval of record, 95 habitable rooms. Approval for record, 95. Now, remember now, that it based on the acreage size, right? 69 habitable for 2.3, 95 habitable for 3.16. Remember the people, me go back up here, so on a 3.16 she have only 2.6 acre. On a see there, 2.6 acre. But yet, she given 95 habitable rooms for 3.16 acre. And a 3.16 acre she having. But Miss Jeannette Holness never stopped there. Miss Jeannette Holness never stopped there, people. Look over on the right side. On the right side here. Indicative breach. Actual habitable rooms in excess of 120 rooms. Wanna talk to me now, people? Wanna talk to me now, people? See that? We know that. Indicative breach. Under that, actual habitable rooms in excess of 120 rooms and a total acreage of 2.6. Take that away on me. We just want to show that. Other breaches did there now, but we don't have no time for that. We just have to point out the main things. Mystic Sensation is pointing out the main things. That at 2.16 acres, Jeannette Holness now extend herself to 120 habitable rooms. And we know you're no bulldozer that rock up there yet. Huh? How we not see no bulldozer? How we not see no tractor that move up there yet? Fill it down. So then, I am only put that out there for the IC to catch on to that and have that investigated. Now let me talk to you, my good friend, one of my hard-working friends, Andrew Swaby, right? Very good politician, representing the people quite well. Mr. Swaby, we want you to have some focus, lend some focus, at least flat. Right? You see what I've shown there? So you need to check, right, with your reputable people as it relates to the breaches, right? As it relates to how much per acre. You understand that qualify the amount of habitable spaces and where you have seen that breach clearly. So then I am saying to you, Mr. Swaby, that please, that need to have some focus, right? And I'm also saying to the Integrity Commission to lend some focus on that as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. And so they should demolish her structure and she should be charged criminally for breaches of the permit. The permit that was issued initially did not allow her, it wasn't permissible for her to have over 120 rooms. She violated the permit. Now, I think we have to be remembering that there's still 7 IC report that is yet to uncover who those 7 members of parliament are. So I am thinking my spirit that the IC is aware of this, and that's going to be part of one of their reports that's yet to come.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not over yet till the fat lady says it's over. So I believe that she's in a world of trouble. And then the situation where she went and put it in the judiciary because she wanted to thief the lady land and build a road through the lady yard, which is a breach also, of the building permit. And so, she's in a world of trouble, and I'm waiting on the IC 7 members of parliament who's being investigated for illicit enrichment. Because to me, when we think of this structure in 2012, they didn't have any money she didn't have any money for this structure. So where did she get this money from to start, resurrecting this structure and so forth? Because she said that this building structure, this apartment complex is going to cost $800 million. So where did she, in 2012, when the blueprint or the permit was issued, where did she get all that money from to start this work? So I am waiting to see the other 7 reports, and I think it's probably going to come out before February ends, before Justice Seymour Panton, if he doesn't get an extension, if they don't retain him, I believe that that will come out in the open for everybody to scrutinize and read through it, because this structure needs to be demolished. Amen.
Yes, definitely. Right. I mean, it's it's in breach. Now, so we have a clique as it relates. So when we talk about the Andrew Holness administration, you know, and the entire the corruption that is just so overwhelming, right? So we have seen, you know, the similar breach as it relates to estate bridge, right? Now we have seen the similar breach as it relates to lease flat. And let me just remind our viewers as it relates to the NWC president. Put up this. We could just go back and show that it is a very similar breach with the NWC president, Mark Barnett. Let us put up that and let the people ever read it. That the same thing that Andrew Holness did, the same thing that Andrew Holness' wife is doing, right? The same very thing that the NWC president has done. Let us bring up that and share the document. Let us remind, pull back the curtain and show people the pattern of behavior as it relates to this administration. Corrupted.
Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on onespotmedia.com.
Now, up first this evening, embattled President of the National Water Commission, NWC, Mark Barnett, has been sent home on administrative leave.
The decision was made today following a meeting of the Board of Directors of the NWC.
Now, Mr. Barnett, who has been embroiled in controversy for breaches of several permits in relation to his upscale apartment complex in St. Andrew.
Anthony Lugg has the details.
News that Mark Barnett was sent on administrative leave came sometime before 6 Friday evening. It follows mounting calls for his resignation following a damning report by the Integrity Commission. The document, which was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, revealed that Mr. Barnett and his wife breached building, planning, and environmental permits for their development on Charlemont Drive in St. Andrew. In an interview prior to Friday's development, the NIA's Principal Director Daniel Archer said the matter was a glaring opportunity for the government to make clear that it stands against corruption.
Remember, this report is coming from an entity that is sanctioned by law. So we can't go around the report because the report is coming from a lawful institution. Not accompanying that report by the appropriate actions from those who supervise him would simply be a flash in the space of the IC to say, we really don't have any value. We don't respect your report.
TVJ News was informed that the decision to send Mr. Barnett home was made today following a meeting of the Board of Directors of the NWC. It's further understood that the 5 unions representing NWC employees had recently written to Prime Minister Andrew Holness to fire Mr. Barnett, claiming that the staff had lost confidence in his leadership. In its report, the Integrity Commission called into question Mr. Barnett's moral authority to lead the National Water Commission. Among the revelations, he disputed a bill of approximately $900,000 that he allegedly owes the NWC for sewage and other water supplies to his upscale apartment complex in St. Andrew.
In the face of the contents of the reports, it does appear that he would have a challenge, even morally, in getting other people to comply with the request of NWC.
The matter has been referred to the Director of Public Prosecutions for a determination on whether charges should be laid against the Barnetts, the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, and the developer. Anthony Lugg, TVJ News.
Take it away on it. Let us sit and just reason with our people in a very conscious way. I mean, we are just going to reason rationally. Now, you are going to tell me, right, as it relates to Andrew Holness' administration. The Prime Minister, I want people to get this. That the Prime Minister hold 19 agencies under his responsibility, unprecedented, never done before. And one would believe that Andrew Holness have this ocean of talent that, you know, him alone can manage 19 agencies. But now we understand the reason why he abduct these 19 agencies with some critical agencies, right, under his portfolio, such as NEPA, So then, is the Prime Minister, based on what we have seen here, the pattern of the behavior, the criminality, that NEPA, that's fall under the Prime Minister responsibility, that when the Prime Minister breach, the Prime Minister is going to investigate himself. The Prime Minister is going to investigate himself. So we see, right, the high level of planning that the Prime Minister himself put into this. We see the premeditated action as to why the Prime Minister did not sign the Code of Conduct, because the Prime Minister was on a mission. Jamaica, open up your eyes. Open up your eyes. From the onset, the Prime Minister knew very well the atrocities that he was going to cause the Jamaican people. He knew very well. And so then you can understand the reason as to why he moved away from not signing the Code of Conduct. And only that he had not signed the Code of Conduct also influenced his men not to sign the Code of Conduct. The Prime Minister acted premeditatedly. Now let us prove and get into the actions of the Prime Minister. Admit that the Prime Minister, through Patrick Bailey, created in 2008, and where the Prime Minister also be a part of SSL in 2008. We have seen the illegal awarding of contract, the breaching of the procurement guidelines as it relates to Robert Gavin. Now the question what Jamaica need to ask, the first 4 properties ADMAT purchased, where did the Prime Minister got the monies from? Don't let us fool ourselves, people, and listen to Cliff Hughes, listen to Tom Tavares attacking the IC. Be focused. Stay with me tonight, people. Let us ask. ADMAT in 2008. Where, ask the Prime Minister, where did ADMAT got its monies from, you understand, to buy the first 4 properties? It was not about just tax evasion that Andrew Holness was doing. So ADMAT, it shows that ADMAT shouldn't be the foundation of Jamaica to avoid investigation. Not only tax evasion. Tax evasion was the least of Andrew Holness' problem. We are talking tonight. Tax evasion was the least of Andrew Holness' problem. It wasn't about all that tax evasion. So when Zara Burton did her investigation and Zara zoomed in on tax evasion, that is just a small portion of that. The real reason to move ADMAT from off the island and have ADMAT in St. Lucia was to avoid investigation. Because the question would have asked, where did ADMAT got the money from? But ADMAT was in St. Lucia. So it becomes a St. Lucia, it becomes a St. Lucia business. The focus that ADMAT wasn't here. And so again, don't be misguided in terms of your investigation. When St. Lucia came under pressure, right, as it relates to companies who are operating, shell companies who are operating in tax avoidance, right, when St. Lucia came under pressure by the EU, right, then, of course, they have to speak, you understand, to the ADMAT owners, who is Andrew Holness and his 2 sons, Adam and Matthew. So then what St. Lucia said that, look, you can't have a shell company that just have the address of a PO box and no real labor is taking place there. Which forced Andrew, right, to bring back ADMAT in Jamaica and liquidate it. People don't be fooled. So this is what happened now. Because ADMAT is the original crime, ADMAT was liquidated into Imperium. I want people to follow me. I want people to follow me tonight, because you understand, I'm going to show you something. So then, we are going to stop this and we are going to show some document. Andrew Holness liquidated ADMAT to Imperium. So what this looks like, people? This looks like we are looking at what we call money laundering. How the laundering goes? Because ADMAT, as the original source of crime, Imperium need to come and wash it. So then if you dissolve ADMAT into Imperium to last track of ADMAT original source, Imperium now legitimize itself. Now I'm going to show you something, people. How Imperium now is legitimizing itself. Let me show you now. Now, let us get into this document. Pull up this document. PDF document. Now, Andrew Holness, you think we have peanut for brains? We don't have peanut for brains. That's why we are coming at you. Right? You must know why the DPP, you want to make the DPP stand, and you're fighting for the DPP to stand. You must know. Bring up this document. Right? You bring up this document. Company Office of Jamaica. Let us get into this. What we are going to show here. Company name is State Bridge Development Limited. Right, company number 104776. I'm not even going to go through that. Count shares 10,000. Shared issue 9,001. Share unissued 999. Let us get into this. People, what I want you to focus on, right, is the secretary detail. Appointed date. Right? 22nd of July 2020, Donovan Williams. Lady Musgrave Road. Right? Donovan Williams. Right? Now, let us look on the registered date name, 22nd of July. And the Prime Minister done this on his birthday. Norman Brown. Right? I have some information there. I don't want to share it. But we are going to show something here. Here it is, Norman Brown. Ordinary shares, 1,000. Celia Anderson, who is Andrew Holness' sister. Right? Shares on the right, 2,000 jointly. Now look at this, people. Imperium Investment Holdings Limited. This is Andrew Holness' full pledge. Because Imperium, Andrew Holness stands alone in that and fully own Imperium right out. And Imperium have 4,001 shares in Estate Bridge. Adam Holness, 2,000 shares. So here you have Imperium. Take it away on it. We are going to show something here. So here is the washing. That ADMAT now dumped everything into Imperium, liquidate Imperium. Now Imperium now is the new ADMAT, ADMAT Part 2. So ADMAT, right, now have 4,001 shares. No, so Imperium, ADMAT dump into Imperium. Imperium now have 4,001 shares. So this is how the washing now comes in now. What Estate Bridge is doing, Estate Bridge is dealing with land and building structures and so forth now, washing, right, all the dirty money from out of ADMAT. So the washing start right in Imperium. Now Imperium now have 4,001 shares in ADMAT. Simple means, without any doubt or any question, Andrew Holness, you understand, own Estate Bridge because Imperium has 4,001 shares in Estate Bridge. Simple means that also Imperium own Estate Bridge, and who own Imperium? Andrew Holness. So I don't want to defend Andrew Holness. He cannot be defended. But what I am interested in tonight is not Imperium nor Estate Bridge. I am interested in the accomplice that sideline with Andrew for him to carry out is wrong. So then who are we going to zoom in on? Of course, no other than Donovan Williams. Yes. Donovan Williams is the brother of Terrell Williams, who was once the mayor of KSAMC. See how that work? So now you have Terrell Williams, control KSAMC, Donovan Williams, the Secretary of Estate Bridge, and definitely in Parliament with Andrew Holness. You see how that work? Norman Brown also pulled in, right? Norman Brown in charge of UDC. You see the corruption, you see the nastiness, you see the clique.